Is Tools of Fortune. I'm going to read on a couple questions just in case anyone wants to pop on and ask a question. So the question is, where to next? Where do we go from here? And I'm reading with an Apprentice Tarot deck, which is the Universal Wish design. So we'll start here. Where to next? Asking Mother Mary, where to next? One, we'll give it, this is so interesting. Just a lot of king energy. Thinking independently, trusting your inner voice, and coming into a place of emotional maturity, being balanced, learning how to be an adult. I feel like I'm still learning how to be an adult. Angie, welcome. Welcome, Angie. And how are you? It's been a while since I've been on. Is the stream clear? I hope it's clear. I've been going through some things the last week or two. Tools of Fortune, like and sub if you like the content. So where to next? Interesting. Let's just see here. Where to next? Looks like it's clear so far, but it's do you ever get the impression, I don't know if it's me or is my internet service throttling the internet? You know, I do like a speed test, even online on a plugged-in line. My download speed is somewhere around 40, and the upload speed is around 5 to 7, which means I cannot do a 1080p live stream anymore. But I could do that just a few months ago. So it's kind of worrisome there that I'm paying all this money for nothing. But let's go do it. Let me just go through this of where to next. What does this mean? And we're looking at all up energy and queen and a king. So that's 14 plus 13, 27, 28, 29. So we're looking at a total energy of essentially 11/2, where it's of rebalancing yourself in a rebalancing, and that's kind of what we're looking at. And if we're looking at 11 as a tarot energy, and oh, another card flew out, and it just happened to be this card flew out, of being coming into a place of triumph. And so this is what is going next. So 11, the 11 card, I think that's the Justice card, right? Yeah, it's Justice. So we're looking at 2 and 11. So we're looking at balancing or coming into a place of justice. For this, justice and balance. but then it's kind of tempered with triumph and coming in, being the conquering hero, coming in to having the success that you've been working towards. You trust your inner voice. You move into your goddess space, your God space. You think quick, you think clever, you use your perceptions and think independently. At the same time, you work on balancing your emotions, being more well balanced emotionally. And with that comes a result of triumph, victory, success over what it is you're trying to accomplish. So, what are you trying to accomplish? What is it that you need to trust your inner self on? What is it that you need to work on being your own person, thinking for yourself, taking in all the facts that people are throwing at you and making that decision that is best for you, and also being compassionate, not flying off the handle, not jumping to conclusions, not being like the in the parable of the prodigal son, being the father and not the children, not the children who one goes off, spends everything, and then comes home dejected and used up. Or in the other one, and then the father throwing a big party in his honor, coming back, and the other son getting all pissy about why they couldn't have a party. So it's being having your being balanced, balancing out your emotions to just not be impulsive with your actions. And with that, you can achieve some kind of success. And that's where to next. Where to next is triumph. Triumph in a place where you can see progress. You can see that your efforts are valuable and worthwhile. So that is where to next. You are going into a place that is worthwhile. Let's go take a look at the other question that we're going to read on. And so the question is it as bad as you imagined? So you have you go through a situation, and in it, when you're in the mud, when you're in the weeds, it just feels dark and gloomy, and then in the absence of imagination, absence of knowledge, the absence of information, it is easy to make decisions that are unsound. And there was an opportunity that came our way, but we weighed the options, and then a decision was made. But in it, is it as bad as it is imagined? So, is it as bad as you imagined? And that's the question. So we'll start here with this card, which is what popped up, the Empress. And we have sort of a conflict. So we're in this moment, in this time, and what you imagined is one thing, but this is what the outcome is. Is it as bad as you imagined it to be? We start from this place of earth energy, rooted into the ground, rooted into your body. And being rooted in your body, there is emotion, there is that emotional energy, there is the exhaustion that can come from juggling too many things, from being unstable, for being just your eyes darting at any shiny thing coming along. And then we have this place of loss, of some people losing and another person coming up to pick up the pieces. So is it as bad as you imagined? And so what is the outcome of that? And in a sense, there is also a feeling of incompleteness. Maybe that is what we have imagined. Is this as bad as we imagined? That ending up in a place of feeling incomplete and anxious for the next thing coming up. And then what do we have here? One more. Then this sense of falling into a rut. Falling into a rut. So maybe that is what you imagined. Maybe it's just going to keep on going with the same old thing. Nothing's going to change. Starts out good. Then there's this hollow victory. Then you get tired. You get tired of it all. And in that tiredness, a feeling of incompleteness, followed by just needing to withdraw under a tree, feeling depressed. All right, that is that. Let's go just see. I'm going to go add it. Well, actually, we forgot to look at the energy of that. And we have the up energy and the down energy. And we're kind of looking at the down energy and the up energy. Now, we kind of do this differently, but I'm just going to group it this way as 9, 12. So we're looking at 3. And so that's really about expression, self-expression. That's the up energy, and the down energy is 21, 23, so it's 5. So we're looking at, you have your creative expression, but there's no change. So you're just kind of going on, but you're not, nothing is changing. And that's going on in how you express yourself, and no changes are made. And so that is it as bad as you imagine? I don't know. We'll see. Maybe we'll read on so what exactly did you imagine? What did you imagine? I might change cards, change decks, and go to the real life tarot. I haven't actually read on that, but this might be a good question to read on with using the real life tarot of what did you imagine? What did or what was imagined? Imagine, E-M-G-I-N-E-D. What was imagined? What was imagined? So, as the real life tarot was created by a magician, and it has cards that are different from what you might normally see in a tarot deck. So this is kind of a joke tarot, but it can be used kind of like an oracle deck, and so that's how we're going to use it here. So the question being is, what was imagined? What did you imagine? What did you imagine it would be? What did you imagine? What did you imagine it would be? I haven't read for over a week on this channel. I'm just kind of getting back into the saddle of it. And so we'll do 4 cards, and then we'll look at what is the outcome, which is the bottom card. We'll look at the bottom card, but let's look at these other cards first. These cards don't have numbers. So what you imagined was a surprise that went awry, a deflation of ego, and danger. What you imagined in this situation was danger, a need to run, your ego being deflated, and a surprise that never happened. And the outcome was running around in a park like a guy catching dollar bills on the wind. So this is what you imagined. And was it as bad as you imagined? This is what you imagined. You imagined danger. You imagined you need to run away. Your ego was deflated, and surprise, nothing happened. Except you running around in the park mad like a guy trying to catch dollar bills in the wind. Is it as bad as you imagined? So that was what you imagined, and we're going to read on that other question using this deck. Is it as bad as you imagined? Is it as bad as you imagined? The Real Life Tarot is a way. It is a good trainer deck for just reading the card, just being a card reader, reading the images on the card, asking questions, reading the images on the card, and letting the cards tell the story. So, is it as bad as you imagine? Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're going to read the bottom card as the final outcome. This is what you have imagined. A magician whose magic falls flat. Your student loan on the 50-year plan. This is the heart of the issue. The food delivered food was delayed. You didn't get it. And that delivery never came. So you're stuck with this student loan on a 50-year plan. The delivery promise never came. The food promised never came. And that magic trick you were expecting never happened. And is it as bad as you imagined? And instead, you went on a trip to nowhere. That's what happened, Billy. That's what happened. Nothing happened. You didn't go anywhere. You can't afford to go anywhere. You're stuck with 50 years of payments on a student loan that never will be paid off. And in the end of it all, the check will be due, and the government will take everything you own. That is as bad as you imagine. And look, there's an alien. Your only saving grace and hope is that alien coming out of the cave to take you away. All right. That's that. Let's go read another question on the other side using this real life tarot here. And that is, what happens next? Where to next? And if you look at the thumbnail image of a guy looking into the sunset, a compass on there, and with the one word humility, the guiding force that desire thrives in the darkness. In the dark, desire thrives. Where to next? Where to next? I'm going to clip this thing. Where to next? This is where we go next. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. The outcome is on the bottom. And look, it's that money catcher thing again. So, you are, where we're going next is like we're going to be filling a sink full of garbage, and surprise, there's a bomb in your head. It goes off. And so what we got here, where you're going to go next, you're going to go to Danny's. You're going to Danny's bar. Because the surprise, it's in your head. It's going to go off at any time. And she, at the bar sitting there, is going to realize that you're just like garbage going down the disposal because you don't have any cats. Your cats ran away. Usually you're just laying there with the cats, but you don't have any cats. That's why you're down at the bar. And you know why? You're not that crazy guy running around with a net in the park. You are, but you didn't catch any dollars. You're just completely flat broke. That's where you're going next. Flat broke. All right, let's go read on some other questions, huh? Let's just go and take this question here, and we're going to put it aside. And we're going to just go look at these cards. Real life tarot. What desire thrives in the darkness? What desire thrives in the darkness? And that's the question. What desire thrives in the darkness? What desire thrives in the darkness? So what we got is game controller. It's just calm, calm, calm. Games don't work. The hybrid sitting out in the lawn, it's all used up. You can't sell it because it's too used. And wow, everything is about to get mushed together in this blender, and which will result in nothing but conflict. What exists in the darkness? Nothing but conflict. That's what we got here. Conflict. Conflict in the darkness. The desire grows in the darkness, thrives. It gets bigger. It gets way bigger in the darkness. Since there's nobody on, I'm just going to read. Oh, let's read a couple more times. I haven't read on camera for almost 2 weeks. Looks like the picture's good too. Is this the 1080p stream or not? Ever since that earthquake, the internet service has been bad. We'll get the same cards over again. That alien, the deleter. And this stuff is just sitting in the blender and nothing's going to happen. And you're going to be moving back in. So what's going to happen? What's happening here? Everything on your phone, you're just going to throw that away because you don't have it. You ain't got nothing. Your companion here coming out of a dark cave like an alien. These are your thoughts. They're coming into you, intruding into you like an alien, which are causing you to make a move back to someplace familiar because this blender here, this life of yours, is just running out onto the ground. The result of which is you had that receipt you had to return everything on it in your life. Return to sender. It's time to start over again. So these cards are all, we'll just try a yes, no. And we'll look at what it says too. Was that decision made the right decision? Was that decision made today the right decision? Was that decision made today the right decision? We're looking at 1, 2, 3 card yes, no. Up, up, up. It's all up. So the decision made today was the right decision to make because what was being fed to you was a big bag of garbage. They were catfishing for your money. And there would be a list of demands so much you could never meet them. And that's why you turn that deal down. Because this is what you saw underneath it all. That catfish fishing for it. The garbage underneath. In that list of demands. Or all those people giving you conflicting advice and you needed to make a decision. And all that stuff was just making you sick. It was just making you sick, and that vomit bag was glued shut. That's what we got here. So that decision, yeah, this deck of cards can work good for let's just mix it up a little bit better. I'm going to put it down here. Let's do some more yes nos. I kind of like those yes no those 3 card yes nos. Just stay on for a few more minutes. And then I gotta go outside. I don't know, maybe make a phone call. I think so. That's probably about right. So everything points to the fact that it was a good decision to make. And we got another, what is the question? So as a yes-no question, is it as bad as you imagined it to be? No, it wasn't as bad as you imagined it to be. It never is. It never is as bad as you imagined it things to be. You imagine that, oh, those 10 cats you have at home, well, that's just too many cats. And you try your hand at love, but Cupid is found out back vomiting green slime on the ground because you imagined yourself to be like garbage flushed down a disposal. And that card has come up too many times too. This has come up a couple times today too. I wonder what I have going on. Let's just go read another question. We're going to read the questions. What in the hell's going on with me? What's up with me? What's up with me? What am I feeling? What am I feeling? What am I feeling right now? What is it that I feel? What do I feel? I don't know what I feel. Let's see what Real Life Tarot has to say about what is Billy feeling. What does Billy feel right now? What is Billy feeling? What does Billy feel? So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. What is Billy feeling? What are the things that Billy is feeling? Mixed up, like stale, hot, or take out food. Living in a rent-controlled apartment and deceived. In a state of truth, because deception upside down is a state of truth. Billy is living his truth. Take out on the counter. The mix dumped out on the ground. And that rent-controlled apartment is out of control. So it's out of control. Truth, deception, and truth. Sort of a confusion there. It's all, is it mixed? It's not the mixologist, it's unmixed. The soup is unmixed. This is like that. It's kind of, that's all mixed together. What am I feeling? I don't know what I'm feeling. Do you? I need a comfort pet. That's what I feel like. I've been the comfort pet. Comfort pet. Yeah, that's it. That makes a lot of sense. Let's try it again. No, I think I'm going to try it with... I'm going to try it with just the regular tarot. We're just going to finish there because there's no one coming on to ask questions. That's fine. I haven't done anything for over a week, so there's no reason to push my content out. So we're going to write that question down, because this is a way you can use tarot if you didn't know. What am I feeling? What am I feeling? What am I feeling? We're going to start here by mixing everything up again. Mixing the cards up. You know, some of them are in blocks. They just get in different sense of orders, different ordering. All right. What am I feeling? Let's just give it 3 shuffles. This is the final question. I mean, you know, if you're just watching this on the playback or anything, What do you care what I'm feeling, huh? What does anybody care what I'm feeling? But what am I feeling? I didn't do any energy clearing. Hey, Crystal, welcome. How are you? I was just about ready to hang up my hat for the day. Yeah. Took a break. There was like, so you just thought about me. There was a bunch of drama going on in the family, and I just had to stop to deal with the drama. Couldn't do my show. I didn't do any of my shows, actually. I did a little bit. It started to get better like last Friday. I think there was a thunderstorm, so I did a 999 show with the thunder and lightning storm, and that was pretty good. But you know, we all got crap that goes on in our lives, right? No one is exempt from crap. It's just crap sometimes just falls out of the sky like rain. Crap falls out of the sky like rain. Yeah. Anyways, we are going to do a what am I feeling? And knock that in there. We're going to do this cut right here. What am I feeling? Well, this is interesting. I do feel some anxiety about tomorrow. Anxiety, worry. There is a bit of too much drama going on. Too much drama. Yeah, I can do that, Crystal. I'll do that right next. And a need for emotional balance. So I think that I feel emotionally balanced, but there's a bit of out of balanceness. So let's just take a look at the numbers here. We're looking at the numbers here. I want to see if those numbers have any to say. We have an up energy and a down energy. And so we got 14, 25, 24, so it's 6. So we look at that, the 6, the up energy is 6. And so that's being in a state of harmony. There is a bit of harmony going on, even though there's some anxiety. But then at the same time, we got this night, 12, 3. So there's a sense of your down energy is a 3. It's a creativity that is blocked. So I guess that's what I'm feeling. There's a sense of some expression. My ability to express myself is kind of blocked. In the same time, there's a balance between anxiety and being in command of how you feel. So I think that kind of makes sense, what I may be feeling. But, you know, as a caregiver, I'm just sort of being there to play a supportive role. But inside, I'm playing that supportive role, allowing my mother to make her own decisions. But inside, there are these things going on. A little bit of drama and then a lot of anxiety. Anyways, that's that. Let's go put that over here. And an energy update. Sure, we'll do that. Let me go clear the air, Crystal. I'll clear the air. Crystal has a question. Mother Mary. And so we're looking at 9, 10, 25. You're the first, probably the only question for the day. Crystal. So it's what is the negative energy towards you? No, that wasn't Nixon. Yeah, okay. In. So the question is in. Yeah, I remember. So what is, where is in at? So Crystal asked the question is, where is in at? What's the vibe of in? All right. Let's use an oracle deck for this one. What's the vibe? And we'll do a tarot. We'll look at some tarot energy too. Kind of see what's going on. I haven't shuffled. Let me just mix this thing up a bit here. So like before, you're gonna tell me when to shuffle, but I'm gonna mix these cards up. I'm gonna shuffle 3 times, riffle shuffle, and then I'm gonna overhand shuffle, and then you will tell me when to stop. This is the first shuffle. This is the second shuffle. This is the third shuffle. Okay. You can tell me when to stop shuffling, please. And this is the question is where is in at? Where is in at? You just tell me when to stop, Crystal. Okay. So the first piece of energy we have coming out is though the longing and reserve. So he doesn't really. He's not missing you. He's spending time thinking about himself. He's got a lot of unanswered questions. Trying to calm the chaos in his life. And creating distance. He's working on creating more distance, trying to calm the chaos in his life. He's just thinking about things. He's trying to not long for you, not desire you, not to desire anything. He just wants calm and peace in his life. That's what he's looking for. But let's go see if the tarot concurs to get a sense of what's going on there. I'm going to just do a couple cards. Let's see, 1983, that's 10, 13, 18, 13 plus 8 is 21, right? 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 21. So that's... We're going to do 3 cards. We'll do 3 cards then. All right. What is N? All right. Why don't you tell me when to stop? It's all about Nixon. What is Nixon? N feeling? What is N feeling towards you? What is N feeling towards Crystal? What does N feel? What's going on in N's head when related to Crystal? What's going on in N's head in relation to Crystal? Okay. Some cards just flew out of here. There we go. These are the ones that flew out. A lot more of them was kind of talkative. You got this lover on the side, so it's kind of upside down lover. The sun has set in his life. He doesn't have any love. And there's a bit of aggressiveness. He's having trouble motivating. He's not in a state of motivation. He has no clear purpose in his life. He's making poor choices. He's out of balance. He's insensitive. So he's a mess. Inside of his life is just a mess. It's a mess. That's what's going on. So we got 19 plus 6 is 25, 35, 45, 49, 52, 7. So what it is, he's in a state of he's just in a state that's withdrawn from the world, trying not to think about the chaos in his life. So it's kind of it concurs with the other cards that he's trying to get a handle on his chaos. He's trying to get a handle on these things, and so because he's depressed and he's out of balance. He's out of balance, becoming intolerant of being intolerant, and he's kind of irritable, intolerant. He's making poor choices. And then there's this sense of aggressiveness to this all. This aggressive, energetic state, this highly energetic state. He's out of balance. Does that make any sense, Crystal? Does that help? And if we look at, that's the numbers wise, a 7 upside down, reverse 7. So if you're still there, you can just tell me if that helps you any. All right. If that helps you. Hope that helps you. And we want to look at what an outcome here. The outcome in this sense is there's this need, the desire to fill the void in his life. He's not able to walk away. He's not moving away. He's just sort of drifting aimlessly. So you don't know, but thank you. Okay. So it doesn't make any sense to you. Okay. I hope. Maybe I'm too out of balance, Crystal, to be able to do any readings for you. Okay, so it has some sense. There's quite a bit of chaos there, but there's also trying to restore order. In a sense, he's trying to restore emotional balance, emotional order into his life. And that's kind of what's going on. So he may not be thinking about you at all. I don't know. Because it just sounds like he's just too absorbed in his own drama to think about anything else, his own chaos. It looks like I just froze. This has been happening a lot. This channel freezing up. Okay, I got a reconnection there. All right. I'm gonna close this out. I'm gonna be back on tomorrow evening at about 8:30 p.m. I think I set it for 8:28, but like normal, I might be a couple minutes late. So that's what I got for you. Thank you very much. Bye bye for now.